edition of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. It is 80 degrees, it is sunny, and it's a beautiful day for baseball here in the Motor City. We welcome you to Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Third and final game of the series featuring the Houston Astros and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. We are glad to have you with us here. The Tigers trying to sweep the Astros out of town. They have a pretty good shot at doing that today, Rod. Max Scherzer will be on the mound. He has victories now in his last 4 consecutive starts.
Well, Max has just been an unbelievable pitcher so far this year. And the one thing that stands out for me is the fact that he's had tremendous fastball command. Only 9 walks so far this year for Max, 61 strikeouts. He's 5-0. The one thing that Max hadn't been able to do before this year was command the fastball to both sides of the plate, but he's able to do that now. And then you get hitters looking for the fastball, and they'll throw you that really good changeup, that real good slider to the left-handed batters, and that's why his game is on a whole nother stratosphere right now.
Well, how about this Tigers offense? They have actually had their way with the Houston Astros pitching staff this year, particularly a guy named Miguel Cabrera, who is really swinging it against the Stros.
He went 0 for 4 just a couple of nights ago. He had a bat that he had used during an 11-game hitting streak. He got rid of that bat. He got him a new bat yesterday, and he started a new hitting streak. The numbers he has this year against the Astros are off the chart. 417 average, 10 for 24, 3 homers, 8 driven in, and 7 runs. And he just makes everybody else in that batting order that much better.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to Justin White in the Call Sam Studios. But coming up in this one here this afternoon, the Tigers not only looking for the series sweep, the season sweep. Tigers-Astros final game coming up next. What a glorious day for baseball here in the Motor City. The Houston Astros in town for the final game in this 3-game series, and Robbie Grossman getting set to lead things off for the Astros. Their batting lineup today presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Grossman in center field, followed by Jake Elmore at second. Carlos Pena, the DH. They've got Carter, Martinez, and Corcoran in the middle of the lineup. It's Jimmy Paredes, Matt Dominguez, Marwin Gonzalez wrapping it up for Houston. The starting pitcher today for the Tigers, Max Scherzer, presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Max is pitching with a tremendous amount of confidence these days, and why wouldn't he? He's got that mid to upper 90s fastball that kind of rises in the strike zone. He dominates right-handers and left-handers. Only 9 walks so far this year for Max in 47 1/3 innings.
And so here come the Astros on a bright, sunshiny day here in the Motor City. 82 degrees our game time temperature as Robbie Grossman leads it off. And here we go. First pitch of the ball game is outside to Grossman. He'll be followed by Elmore and then Pena. The Astros decked out in the bright orange jersey tops here today. Here's the 1-0. That's in for a strike. 1-1. Grossman in the series 2 for 8. He has an RBI. Started the season in AAA, called up because of an injury. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back out of play. 1-2. He can be a catalyst for their offense if he gets on base. He has speed. 3 RBIs so far this year, batting .200 at the big league level. Here's the 1-2. And it's just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scherzer is in search of a 6-0 start. With a victory, he'll get it here today. 3.61 ERA coming in. The 2-2 pitch. Low 3-2.
Really what Max has been able to do the first 6 weeks of the year, just a continuation of what he did the final 2 months of the 2012 season. Max was one of the best pitchers in the American League.
3-2 pitch on the way is ball 4. Grossman draws a walk, leading off the ball game today.
Abisail Garcia will get the start in center field today. It's his first career start in the majors, although he's been out there for just a few games. Tuiasa Sopo in left, Hunter in right. Up the middle, they've got Peralta and Infante, the corner infielders, the big fellas, Cabrera and Fielder, and Brian Pena behind the plate this afternoon.
Here's Jake Elmore, the number 2 hitter, and he takes ball 1. Max had a little bit of a stare in after that last pitch. He thought it was a strike. Elmore at Oklahoma City was batting .300 in his season debut yesterday. In last night's ball game, 1 for 4. Filling in for Jose Altuve. Altuve is on the bereavement list because of the death of his grandmother. So Elmore fills in.
Don't know if Altuve would have played anyway in this series because of that collision he had with their right fielder, Paredes, on the opening day of the series.
Here's the 1-0. Fouled back out of play. A pretty good collision, too.
It really was. And at 5 feet 5 inches, Altuve was on the short end of the stick as far as that's concerned.
Partially dislocated jaw took Altuve out of the game. So Bo Porter without arguably his best player. Here's the 1-1. Missed it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Max has come out throwing more balls than strikes in the early going here. Through 9, he has thrown 6 out of the strike zone.
And might see a runner on the move on this next pitch. Maybe the hit and run. Grossman does have some decent speed. Elmore batting second, can handle the bat.
Runner holds, and it's a strike called on the outer edge.
And that's something that Houston has been doing a little bit more than they did the first few weeks of the season. They've been running more as a team. Bo Porter trying to generate any offense whatsoever by getting some guys moving, especially the guys that have some speed.
Long look by Scherzer. And he just missed the outside corner. Fill it now 3-2.
Max trying to be too fine here with the fastball in the very first inning by going to the corners. There's proof of what I just said is regarding how much the Astros have run lately. Their last 21 games, 14 steals in 19 attempts. Max can throw that fastball right down the middle and throw it by some of these Astro hitters.
Grossman goes on 3-2, swing and a miss, throw down to second. Tag is waiting for the out. Strike him out, throw him out. Brian Pena with a BB down to second.
The key is Max gave him time to throw. He throws a slider on the 3-2 pitch, and it's not really a great slider, but enough to get Elmore to swing over the top, and a throw right down to second, right on the bag. Pena couldn't have placed it any better than he placed that one, and all Elmore had to do was catch it and allow Grossman to slide into the glove.
Brian Pena playing a little pitch and catch with Infante. Base is empty now.
And Brian Pena got a start just a couple of days ago in that Cleveland series, and he homered, had a couple of other hits. Real nice game for Pena.
Here is the other Pena in the game today, Carlos Pena, batting with the bases empty, and the Tigers employing the shift. That is Cabrera, who is actually playing at a shortstop position right now defensively. Here's the 1-0. That's it for a strike. 1-1.
And Miguel started his professional career as a shortstop and quickly outgrew that position when he first got to the big leagues in 2003. Played some left field.
Now Max from the windup, the 1-1. Lifted in the air towards center field. Garcia cruising over, and that is that for Houston. No runs, a walk, nobody left. Nice throw by Brian Pena, nailing a runner, and we go to the bottom of the first. Infante will be leading off for Detroit as we check out the Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. They have Infante, Hunter, and Cabrera at the top. Fritz Fielder batting cleanup. Victor right behind him. Johnny Peralta back in the lineup. In your bottom three, Tuias, Sopo, Pena, Garcia. And they all will be facing left-hander Dallas Keuchel.
He's making his second start of the year. That first start came just 5 days ago against the Texas Rangers. Took the loss in that game, but only gave up 2 earned runs. He's got a fastball, he's got a changeup, and a slider. And the Tigers have also seen Keuchel in relief when they were in Houston about 10 days ago or so.
So here is Infante. 2 out of 5 in the series. Omar has not led off for the Tigers since 2010. And Keuchel brings it home, and it's a strike called.
Jim Leland pretty much has an entire lineup full of right-handed bats. with the exception of Prince Fielder.
There are the numbers on Infante. Very solid 320 start for Omar. And Jim made it pretty clear a couple of days ago when Jackson went on the disabled list that Infante would be leading off against left-handed pitching. Andy Dirks has done a fine job against right-handers in that leadoff slot. And the 0-2. Keuchel missing, and 1 ball 2 strikes. Keuchel has said he wants to be more aggressive this time around in the big leagues. He started for a while last year, but base on balls were a big problem. Felt that he nibbled too much, and has vowed this time around this year to go right after hitters. In fact, in his 16 starts last year, Keuchel had more walks than strikeouts. 1 ball 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and Infante is out of there. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Houston Astros starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Martinez, Grossman, Paredes in the outfield. Dominguez, Gonzalez, Elmore, and Carter in the infield. And Corcoran is the catcher this afternoon. Castro caught the first 2 games of the series.
Torrey Hunter sends a ground ball foul, third base side.
Keuchel has a tremendous amount of confidence in his changeup, and that's the pitch that he struck Infante out with. He also had a really good changeup against the Texas Rangers 5 days ago. And so if the Tigers fall behind, that's the pitch they're going to get from Keuchel this afternoon.
331 for Torrey so far this year. A couple of hits in the series, including a double.
Changeup has always been the equalizer for a left-hander that doesn't have an overpowering fastball. You knock the right-hander off the plate as he just did there, and then you go back outside with a change piece.
Torrey swings right through it. 1-2. Hunter with a 5-game hitting streak has been a fixture in the number 2 spot in the Tigers lineup. And the 1-2. Shot toward right center field, and caught by Paredes, who started back and then had to come in.
It looked like he was fooled by the swing because he didn't take a direct route to get there, but decent speed, able to make up for it.
Backhanded play out there in right center field by Paredes. Here's Cabrera with the bases empty. .375 for Miguel, 2 out of 7 with a home run last night, and he shoots one to Paredes in right. Hit it hard but straight at him, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. 1 in the books here at Comerica. No score. Brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Dodge, visit Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. And by Miracle Whip, keep an open mouth. Back here at the ballpark before the game today, Torrey Hunter is signing autographs down the third base line. Max Scherzer going back to work as we head to the second. No score.
Max has thrown 16 pitches, and 9 of those have missed the strike zone. Had a few command issues in the first inning and starts off this inning. 2 balls, no strikes to Chris Carter.
And Carter can hit the ball out of the park. He has 9 home runs this year. In fact, 5 of the 9 homers he's hit have come on the road. Swing and a miss there, 2-1.
Good pitch. 2-0. Carter looking for the fastball, and Max didn't accommodate him. They threw him a slider at 86.
Max 0 for 4 on first pitch strikes so far. There's a strike called, 2-2. What do you think about these bright orange jersey tops today for the Astros?
They're cool.
I like them.
I like color.
Makes the field pop, that's for sure. The 2-2. Popped him up. First base side. Prince under it. Foul ground, 1 gone.
Here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. Max through his first 7 starts last year, 2-3 in 37 2/3 innings, 45 strikeouts. You can see the numbers this season way up for Max. 61 strikeouts, only 10 walks this year, and 47 in a third innings for the Tigers right-hander.
Martinez lines one in the air to right, straight at Torrey Hunter, 2 gone.
It's getting to the point now where the opposing teams are swinging very early and often against Max. If you don't hit that first pitch fastball and you allow him to get ahead of you, and he's got that legitimate swing and miss changeup and slider, and he's getting a lot more confidence in that curveball.
Boy, to add that to his arsenal would make him that much tougher. Max 3 times this year has 10 or more strikeouts in a game, including 12 against Seattle, which is his season high. Strike called on Carlos Corcoran. Scherzer started 2011 at 6-0. He's trying to start 2013 at 6-0. Backed him out of there, inside and low, 1-1.
Well, every time Max takes the mound, the Tigers offense, they perk up. They score runs in bunches for Max.
Max is getting just under 9 runs of support this year per 9 innings. Strike called. Jeff Nelson goes up with the right hand. 1-2. Corcoran takes one low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here are the run support numbers. As you see, just under 9 runs for both Scherzer and Darvish. They get the most support in the major leagues.
Fister on that list too.
Ball inside, run it full now, 3-2.
Tigers will see Darvish tomorrow night in Texas. I doubt very seriously if he gets 8 runs tomorrow.
That's because Verlander's going. Yeah, I doubt it as well. That's going to be a whale of a matchup. JV and Darvish to open up that series. High towering fly ball right field. Torrey Hunter going back. He's looking up, and that ball is going to go. It's a home run for Corcoran, who has hit 2 of them this year against Tigers pitching. Third home run of the season for Corcoran. And it's 1-0 Houston.
Max threw him a changeup on a 3-2 count, and the changeup was right over the plate. And no doubt, Corcoran looking for a fastball. Bat was sped up, and he caught it just right and drilled it about 400 feet.
1-0 pitch in for a strike on Jimmy Paredes. Astros scored first in this one like they did in last night's game. Paredes batting $185. Big swing there. He takes some healthy cuts. 1-2. Knocked in a run last night, was 1 for 5. And now Max with the 1-2. He'll finish him off. A swing and a miss to strike him out. Second strikeout of the game for Scherzer. The Corcoran home run makes it 1-0. Remind you, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Prince Fielder will lead it off, then Victor Martinez and Johnny Peralta. Tigers fall behind in this one on the Corcoran homer. And Keuchel misses with the first. 1 ball, no strikes. He got the Tigers 1-2-3 back in the first inning. Bouncing ball right side of the infield. Nice backhanded play by Elmore, who throws him out. 4 up, 4 down now against Mr. Keuchel.
A nice little play here by Elmore. And Prince running down the line, takes his time. Nice stretch on the other end by Chris Carter. Carter's played quite a bit of left field this year. First base. He's been the DH. He's going to get a lot of at-bats this year with that power that he has in his bat.
Yeah, I think the only thing he probably cares about is whether or not he's in the lineup.
No doubt.
Regardless of where. Here's Victor. Martinez takes strike 1.
Victor didn't like that first call from Jeff Nelson, letting him know it too. Not going to be any of that today, Mr. Nelson.
Victor had a home run as he hits a sharp one hopper to the shortstop. Look at Gonzalez flashing some leather. 2 gone. A couple of nice defensive plays open up this inning defensively for the Astros. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card as Johnny Peralta comes strolling in. And how about these numbers? He has hit safely in 24 of his last 28 games. And when you're looking for consistency, he has been one of the more consistent hitters this year.
No doubt. Both sides of the ball, really. Yeah, Johnny's only committed 2 errors at that shortstop position. Elvis Andrus of the Texas Rangers has committed only 1. So Very few playing the all-around game that Peralta is playing, that play that shortstop position in the major leagues first 6 weeks of the year.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Dallas Keuchel has faced 5 batters. He has retired all 5. Couple of grounders, couple of fly balls, and a strikeout.
And one thing that it appears that he's going to do, and he's going to have to change in the second time through the Tigers batting order. Very change-up happy. First time through, Tigers have a veteran-laden lineup, some outstanding hitters, and no doubt they will figure that out, and 1 or 2 of the guys will sit on that change-up next time around. There's 3 straight change-ups there to Peralta.
And he's run the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tuiasosopo waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. 3-2. Keuchel and a few of the infielders were headed back to the dugout. And now Jeff Nelson having some words with the Astros dugout. Keuchel was convinced he had him struck out. Johnny stays alive. Bo Porter, the youngest manager in the major leagues. Part of the coaching staff in Washington under Davey Johnson before taking the helm of the Astros and overlooking this rebuilding project for the Stros. Slow start so far, 10-30 record. But you got to believe with some of the talent they have in the minor leagues, and we talked about this a little bit last night, Rod, they received a lot of pitching in return for some of the trades they've made in the recent past, that they've got a bright future.
They've got the best winning percentage of any of the minor league clubs of the 30 teams.
Peralta has himself a 2-out walk.
And last year in 2012, the Houston Astros minor league system also had the best winning percentage in the minor leagues. And that's after finishing dead last in 2010 and 2011. So they're getting better.
Well, here is Matt Tuiasosopo, who has done a really nice job in a part-time role for Detroit. Made the team out of spring training after a red-hot second half of spring camp. And a bouncing ball, base hit right field. Peralta is on his way to third. Paredes' throw is cut off. Tuiasosopo with a base hit to right. Tigers in business here with 2 outs.
Tigers right-handed batters have hit quite a few balls the opposite direction, which means they're not necessarily trying to jump on the fastball. They have breaking balls in the backs of their mind, and Johnny Peralta did a very nice job from first base. He knew exactly where Paredes was playing, therefore didn't need any help whatsoever from Tom Brookins, the third base coach, to tell him whether he could come over there or not.
Johnny with his head down, busting it all the way down to third base. Now we'll see if Brian Pena can get the runner home. Pena's already thrown a runner out at second base, now trying to chip in with a bat. Tigers have their first hit of this game. Pena this year bats .256. He's hit a couple of home runs. Strike called, 0-1. Tigers have gotten so much production this year out of the latter third of their lineup. It has been one of the keys to all of the offensive numbers they have put up, aside, of course, from the guys in the middle. Right back up the middle, and that will be cut off by the shortstop Gonzalez, but that'll score the run. Pena gets it done. It's a 1-1 ball game.
You know, when you come into a series against the Tigers, I mean, you prepare so heavily on guys like Miggy and Fielder and also Victor Martinez, Jackson when healthy, and Hunter, but you forget about the bottom third of that batting order. And the bottom third of that Tigers batting order, they are 9 for 21 in this series against the Astros pitching.
8th RBI of the year for Pena. Infield hit. That'll bring up Avi Garcia, the number 9 hitter. Ball 1 high. 2-out walk to Johnny Peralta. Started the rally. How many times do we say that? 426 this year in 8 games in the minor leagues for Garcia.
Garcia has showed a lot of power in the minor leagues, but that power hasn't translated to the big leagues yet. But they believe that at some point in time, this guy's got 20 to 25 homer pop in that bat.
Swinging a high drive. Left center field. Way back. Did he get it? Whoa, how about that for a piece of timing? A 3-run shot for Avisail Garcia.
His first career home run. And it was a big one.
Garcia goes deep. First of the year, first of his career, and it's 4-1 Detroit.
We talked about it a couple of batters ago. The fact that Keuchel throwing so many breaking balls and changeups that 1 or 2 of these Tigers would go up there and sit on one. And it appears that Garcia, he picked out a real nice slide piece and hit it over the Houston Astros bullpen.
Meanwhile, Infante will bounce out, and that'll end the inning. However, it's a big, big inning for the Tigers, highlighted by the first career home run for Avisail Garcia. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Well, Garcia is adding to the lore of the Tigers' number 9 hitters this year with his first major league home run. Tigers' number 9 hitters doing the job, and today it's Avisail Garcia.
22 RBIs already this year out of the number 9 slot for Tigers. Number 9 hitters, only 33 ribbies all season last year from that slot.
Here's Matt Dominguez. Ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Tigers answer the Corcoran home run with a 4 spot of their own. RBI hit by Pena, 3-run homer by Garcia. That'll get back out of play. 1-2. Matt Dominguez, Marwin Gonzalez, and Robbie Grossman here in the Houston third. Swing and a miss, and he missed badly.
Take one more look at the Garcia home run. It's a breaking ball that Keuchel tried to keep on the outside part of the plate, but he got way too much plate.
Jim Leland did something last night to try and help Garcia out. Don Kelly was up late in a game and was having good success against the pitcher he was facing, Blackley, but he decided to pinch hit Garcia just to give him an at bat, knowing he would start him today. There's a ball low, 1 ball, no strikes on Gonzalez, and the skip was able to get Garcia a couple of at bats after his call up, knowing that he would start the final game in this series, just to get him a little bit of a groove going. See some pitching up here in this ballpark. That's an easy 4-3, and there are 2 gone. And Garcia answers today emphatically with a 3-run shot. First big league homer, one that he will never forget. And hopefully they'll be able to get the baseball for him. 2 outs for Grossman. Walked and was caught trying to steal a base back in the first inning. 4 runs on 3 Tigers hits, and the Astros a run on 1 hit. Ball 1 to Robbie Grossman. He came over from the Pirates organization. In fact, was their minor league player of the year a couple of years ago. He's an interesting story in that he went to high school in Cypress, Texas, grew up there, which is about 30 minutes from Houston, so he is considered a hometown kid, a local kid. And getting a chance to play with the team he grew up following. Good breaking ball, bends in for a strike, 1-2.
Good arm slot there for Max. Got on top of that breaking ball. That's the difference in his ball going north to south versus east to west in the strike zone. Good depth with that last bender.
Got him, strike 3. Grossman didn't like it. 4 strikeouts for Max, and he comes back with a 1-2-3 third inning. We are headed to the bottom of number 3. Tigers on top 4-1. All right, Justin, thank you. Here it is, 4-1. The Tigers have the lead. Garcia has a 3-run homer, highlighting a 4-run second. Corey Hunter leading it off. It's Hunter Cabrera, fielder, in the bottom of the 3rd today at Comerica. Ball high from Dallas Keuchel. Trying to bounce back after giving up a 2-out walk and then eventually 4 runs in the second. Hunter takes low, 2-1.
Keuchel continues to throw that fastball inside to just about every single right-hander the Tigers have run up there, but he's not throwing it for a strike. He continues to miss off the plate with it inside.
Tipped into the glove there, 2-2. Keuchel is a native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, 25 years of age. Check swing fouled off. He is facing the beefy part of the Detroit lineup here in the third. Hunter Cabrera, fielder, then Martinez. 2-2 on Torrey. Flied out to right field his first time up. And a 5-game hitting streak going right now for Hunter. In the air to right field, hit pretty well. Paredes to the track to make the catch right in front of the wall.
Take a look at Miguel's numbers this year against Astros pitching. 10 for 25, which is good for a 400 batting average. He's driven in 8 and scored 7. He's been on some kind of tear against Houston, but really he's done this kind of damage against every team they played this year.
First pitch strike for Keuchel. 0-1. Here's how stats can be deceiving sometimes. Keuchel now is 10 of 12 in first pitch strikes, and he's trailing 4-1. And Scherzer is 3 of 10, and he's leading 4-1. The difference, of course, is Keuchel is facing a much more formidable offense. Cabrera is 0 for 1. Missed it low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And generally speaking, though, when you are that efficient with the first pitch you throw, your numbers are going to be better than the numbers Keuchel has.
Missed it away. 2-2. Cabrera leads the American League with 57 hits. Now it's 3-2 on Miguel. The ratio for Keuchel.
If Keuchel was smart, he'd go right back inside with another fastball.
Bouncing ball left side, base hit. 1 out single for Cabrera.
It appeared that Corcoran wanted that ball on the outside corner, and it got a little bit too much plate in. It's very hard to get Miguel Cabrera out with strikes. Anything in the strike zone, he's going to put it in play.
So another hit for Cabrera. That's his 58th of the year to lead the American League. That'll bring up Prince Fielder. And he takes a strike. How about Fielder's walk-up music? How many guys in the big leagues have Mozart as their walk-up music? Prince has selected Mozart's Requiem, which was written in the late 1700s, as his walk-up tune, I guess you could say. And Prince has said, obviously, it's an odd choice, but it's something that's very dramatic sounding, and that's what he was going for.
Well, he's reached base in 24 straight games, so it's working for him right here at the crib.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. 1-2. Fielder now 1 for 7 in this series. Keuchel is ahead. And the 1-2. Bouncing ball towards second. Helmore will fire to second, 1 on the relay. That is a double play for the Astros to end the inning. 4-6-3, and we go to the 4th. Astros defense get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. One of the things they've been able to do is Rod turn some double plays this year.
Hey, good infielders. Dominguez, Gonzalez, Altuve, usually their second baseman.
Ball one missing outside to Jake Elmore.
They can catch the baseball for sure.
They got the double play from Prince Fielder to close out the third. Scherzer slings home the next, and it's a strike. 1-1 on Jake Elmore. Max gave up the home run to Carlos Corcoran in the second, and so far that has been it. He has fanned 4 batters. 2-1. Elmore just called up to replace Altuve. And he strokes one to center, base hit. Maybe more. Let's see. Garcia tries to cut it off and does, but that's going to be a double for Jake Elmore. Leadoff man aboard for the Astros.
And Garcia had Elmore shaded over in the right center field gap, and because of that, wasn't able to get there to prevent Elmore from getting that double. Although Avisail has a tremendous throwing arm.
Elmore had to turn on the jets. First double of the year for Elmore, his second hit since his call up yesterday. Here is Carlos Pena. Ball one. Pena flied out to center field his first time. And Carlos now has played in 40 of the 41 for the Astros this year. He is in their lineup day in and day out. Now the 1-0 pitch, and time was called. What's going on? We got a balk. Elmore will be given third base. Boy, that was slight.
What did he do?
I don't know. You can see the motioning by Jeff Nelson up and down. He came to a stop, then quickly moved again before bringing it home. Here's the 1-0 to Pena. Ground ball, base hit. That'll score the run. Pena gets an RBI, and the Astros get a run back. It's now 4-2. 10th RBI of the year for Carlos. That'll bring up Chris Carter. Tigers this afternoon not only going for the sweep in this series, but the season series, which is awfully difficult to do regardless of what team you're playing. Tigers won 4 in Houston and the first 2 in this series. 1-0 on Carter. Scherzer got him to pop up back in the second. Ball low, 2-0. Carter had some big numbers in the A's organization, most of them in the minor leagues. Hit a ton of home runs there. In fact, was the Texas League MVP one year back in 2009. Outside again, 3-0.
Yeah, be careful here. And Carter might be one of those guys that Bo Porter turns loose in a 3-0 count because he does have legitimate home run power. Already 9 home runs this year by Chris Carter.
It's ball 4 up and in. The first 3 Astros have reached here in the fourth. Scherzer issues another walk. That'll be his second. Jeff Jones comes out to have a confab. Don't forget to see the Tigers battle the Minnesota Twins on Thursday, May 23rd at 7:08 p.m. Take advantage of the Super Spring Special. Upper box seats are half priced, only $13. There's the phone number, 866-66-TIGER, or check it out online at tigers.com. Starting to feel like spring, starting to feel like summer, actually.
Well, today is a spectacular day. By far the best weather day of the year.
You get day baseball here on a beautiful day, and this ballpark absolutely glimmers.
35,000 people in attendance.
Their first Tigers game. You picked a great day. Scherzer now has some work to do. J.D. Martinez stands in. He lined out to right field his first time up. High fly ball left field and hit well. This ball might go, and it will. It is way out of here. A 3-run shot for J.D. Martinez.
He killed that slider.
And the Astros have come right back, and they take the lead. Crushed it.
He almost hit that back wall with those Hall of Fame numbers on it. And names. Max has thrown a couple of breaking balls here, where the other home run he gave up to Corcoran was a changeup, but he kind of dropped his arm angle, and because of that, the ball was flat. Kind of dropped his arm angle on that slider there, too, and the result was a 3-run homer.
Each team has a 3-run shot. Garcia for the Tigers and Martinez now for the Astros. A 4 spot here in the 4th for Houston. And they have claimed their second lead of the game. It's now 5-4. Carlos Corcoran hit the other home run that the Astros have today. That was back in the second. Still nobody out in this inning. First 4 have reached for Houston. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2. There's a pretty good wind blowing out toward left field today, and not that that thing needed any help, but it went a long, long way. Here's the 1-2.
Corcoran has 2 homers this season against Tigers pitching. One in Houston, and then, of course, he homered earlier here today off Max.
That's in the air to shallow left. Tuiasosopo will get under it for the out. 1 gone. Last time Scherzer gave up 2 homers in a game, June 6th last year against Cleveland. He lost that game 9-6. Now Jimmy Paredes with 1 out. And there's some action in the Detroit bullpen. That would be Drew Smyly, who has done fantastic work out of the Detroit bullpen this year. That's drilled toward right center field. Garcia not going to get this one, and it's up against the wall. Extra bases. Paredes with a double.
They are wearing out the off-speed pitches here today of Max, but he's leaving them up in the zone. The home run Corcoran hit was a changeup. Martinez hit a breaking ball out of the ballpark that was hanging. And here's an off-speed pitch here as well. It's the changeup that stays up in the zone.
And Paredes has himself a 2-base hit.
And Max might want to go to that mid-90s fastball and see if he could throw that by some of these young Houston Astros hitters.
Here's Matt Dominguez. Ball 1. Dominguez a strikeout back in the 3rd. Tigers fell behind 1-0 and then scored 4 quick ones in the 2nd to take a 4-1 lead, but Houston has not folded the 10th. They have answered here in the 4th. Max has 4 strikeouts, but he's allowed 2 homers. And he's walked a couple of batters. There goes the runner to third. Now they got him picked off. They'll get him in a rundown, and Paredes will be tagged by Cabrera. Got him.
It's a nice job there by Max. Knowing that certain teams try to steal third base. A little spin move there, caught Paredes too far off that bag.
Put out goes 1, 4, 5. 2 outs, and the bases are empty. And Dominguez looks at a ball outside. 2-0. It was the 60th pitch for Scherzer. Two and 1. Dominguez now 0 for 8 in the series. Corcoran with a home run. Martinez with a home run. And now Dominguez up 3-1 in the count. 7th man to bat in the inning, with Marwin Gonzalez on deck. Popped him up. Third base side, Cabrera foul ground. Drifting. Had trouble with it. Boy, the wind got a hold of that one. But Cabrera makes the play, ending the inning. J.D. Martinez. Big 3-run shot. And the Astros are back on top. There are 10 Tigers with 1,000 or more RBIs with the team. How many of them can you name? There are 10 of them. We are asking you to name as many as you can. Just start throwing out names. A few of them will stick, since there's 10. Tigers have some work to do now, down 5-4. Victor Martinez leads it off and takes strike 1. Dallas Keuchel back to the hill, facing Martinez, Peralta, and Tuiasosopo. One ball, one strike. Keuchel pitched his college ball at Arkansas, where he roomed with Drew Smiley for 2 years with the Razorbacks. Fouled back out of play, 1-2.
That means they can tell some stories on each other.
Yeah, I tried to get some out of Drew the other day in Houston. He wouldn't share any, though. As any good roomie would, keep those stories to themselves. Not that there were any. Here's the 1-2. Missed it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keuchel spent only about 3 years in the minor leagues and then made 16 starts last year with Houston. Swing and a miss, and Martinez, his history, 1 gone. Keuchel has his 2nd strikeout. They're the current RBI leaders in the American League. 41 for Cabrera, fielder on that list. I just asked you the question about Tigers with 1,000 or more RBIs in their career. Miguel Cabrera off to another red hot start this year, driving in runs.
Does he already have 1,000 RBIs with the Tigers?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. He's got 1,000 hits with the Tigers. We know that. Peralta had the 2-out walk in the 2nd. That started the rally. 1-2. Keuchel then gave up a single to Tuiasosopo. Sopo. Infield hit to Pena, scoring a run. Then the Garcia homer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Five runs, 5 hits for Houston. 4 runs, 4 hits for Detroit. Astros trying to avoid being swept in the season series. Well, Porter would like to get out of town at least with 1 win. Corcoran blocks that one, and the count fills now at 3-2.
Houston will head to Pittsburgh from here after the ball game and play against the Pirates, and it's going to be an interleague game, but it's really not going to seem like an interleague game because they've played each other 19 times the last number of years.
Another walk to Peralta. This one with 1 out.
Here's some of those numbers we were telling you about regarding the Tigers' 7, 8, 9 hitters in the last 6 games. 3 against Cleveland, and then so far here today. 434 average. 20 runs scored. It doesn't matter whether it's Santiago or Kelly.
Here's Tuiasosopo. Yeah, you're right. It really doesn't matter. I mean, Leland has been plugging in different parts in the bottom 3. And for the most part, they've all come through.
They say hitting is contagious. And the Tigers love hitting here at Comerica Park as a team. Real good numbers in this yard.
Last night it was Infante, Kelly, and Santiago. They combined for 4 hits and a couple of RBIs. 1-1 on Tuiasosopo. Matt's had a couple of really big hits. Garcia had a big hit. His home run back in the 2nd was his first big league homer. One and two.
One of the few fastballs that Keuchel has thrown inside for a strike. And just about all the other fastballs to the right-handed batters have been off the plate inside. Then he simply goes right back outside with something soft.
Two and two. Tigers hoped that they would get something out of Tuiasosopo off the bench, and they certainly have this year. He had that pinch hit 3-run homer against Dan Herron on Thursday in Washington. Earlier this year had a 5 RBI game against Atlanta. Rolled foul. But it's the element of power that gives Tuiasosopo a little bit of an advantage over other guys on the bench. When Leland needs a 3-run homer like he did in Washington the other day, Tuiasosopo was able to oblige. And the 2-2. Low, 3-2. Tuiasosopo singled the other way back in the second, and then would eventually score on the home run by Garcia.
It might be too risky here to run Johnny, but we'll see what Jim does.
Driven to center field on a line, base hit. Tuiasosopo is 2 for 2. The Tigers trying to come right back here now with 2 on and 1 out.
And Tuiasosopo has not gotten a lot of playing time, but when he does get a start against left-handers, he's given the Tigers quality at bat after quality at bat. And it's not easy to sit for 4 or 5 days, then go out there and try to hit big league pitching.
Which begs the question, what do guys like that do between their starts? Take extra batting practice?
Well, you got to get to the ballpark first. Lots of work in the cage, extra batting practice on the field. And then while the game's going on, if a pinch hitting situation may arise, you have to get up and go underneath and start to sweat a little bit, do some stretching.
Here is Brian Pena, infield hit, scored a run back in the second. Each team now with 5 hits in this game. Tigers down by a run, but they have 2 men on. Pena fouls it off. Brian now has 8 RBIs this year. He established a career high in KC last year with 25 driven in a backup role to Salvador Perez. One ball, one strike.
Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Royals, one of your brighter young catching stars in the major leagues. Cannon for an arm. He's got power. He can handle the staff.
Now the 1-1. That Royals team has some really good young talent. Escobar, Kane.
They've drafted very well. And then when they spun Zach Greinke to the Milwaukee Brewers, they got themselves a couple of really good players in Escobar and Kane.
Here's the 2-1. Ground ball to third. This might be another double play. 5, 4, 3, and it is. And it comes in handy for Keuchel, who has gotten a twin killing in each of the last 2 innings. Promising start to the inning, but the double play will send us to the 5th.
Max is giving up today. You see the arm slot kind of drop there on the changeup. That was the Corcoran, and the ball didn't do a whole lot. Then he gave up a 3-run home run last time. Arm slot the same, doesn't get on top of it, breaking ball flat. And a lot of times those don't make it to the catcher's glove. So just a slight adjustment here that needs to be made by Max to make sure he gets on top of that breaking ball and changeup, so he can get some depth in the strike zone when the ball does get there.
Well, the Astros lead 5-4 as we go to the 5th inning. Scherzer back to the hill. Marwin Gonzalez leads it off. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Grossman, then Elmore. And Max throws strike one.
That's a good arm slot for Max. You saw that ball kind of went downhill where he's able to use the height that he has in his body.
4-3 ground out in his first at bat. Gonzalez takes the ball outside. 1-1 on Marwin, who was one of 2 Rule 5 picks that spent the entire season in the big leagues last year with the Astros. On the ground to the first baseman. Fielder has it, and Scherzer covers for the out. 1 away. Now Robbie Grossman. Strikeout and a walk for Grossman, their leadoff hitter. Breaking ball, strike one. Grossman forces Cabrera, the third baseman, to come to the cut of the grass. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Drilled toward right field on a line and caught by Torrey Hunter. 2 gone. The AT&T trivia question again. There are 10 Tigers with at least 1,000 RBIs with the team. How many can you name? Here comes the list. From Cobb all the way down to Alan Trammell. And everyone in between. Al Kaline on that list. Storman, Norman Cash, Lou Whitaker. Gehringer, Crawford, Greenberg. Jake Elmore, the batter. Double and a strikeout for Elmore. His double started the 4th inning, and that's the biggest inning for Houston today, a 4-run fourth. Here's the 1-1. Elmore played his college ball at Arizona State, which has produced a lot of big leaguers over the years, but he was teammates with Jason Kipnis there. Cleveland Indians second baseman, and Mike Leake also played on that same team. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jake Elmore.
Mike Leake didn't spend 1 day in the minors.
No,
he went right to the big leagues.
And Kipnis has turned out to be a really good player as well. We see him often with the Indians. 2-2 is high, 3-2. Max now at 74 pitches. Swing and a miss. Elmore strikes out for the 2nd time today. 1-2-3 inning. Avisail Garcia will lead it off for the Tigers. favor of the Astros here today in the series finale. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Here is Garcia to start things off in the 5th inning. Garcia, then Infante, then Hunter. Facing left-hander Dallas Keuchel, who has been helped out by inducing 2 double play balls in this game. In fact, they've come in each of the last 2 innings. And Garcia grounds the first one foul right at home plate. Garcia last year in the major leagues played in 23 games with the Tigers. They got him on the roster right before the month of September, so he would be eligible for postseason. He shoots that one foul on the ground.
And here's that home run he hit his first time up today, his first career home run, breaking ball from Keuchel, and absolutely drilled by Garcia.
Keuchel backs him out of there, 1-2. Only one bad inning for Dallas Keuchel, and that was the 4-run second. The inning that Garcia hit his home run. Inside then outside, he has missed to make it 2-2. Infante lurking on deck. Swing and a miss, and Garcia's out of there. 3rd strikeout for Keuchel. Here's Infante. Omar has a strikeout as well today, 0 for 2. Batting average at .315, and he came into this ball game hitting .349 in the month of May. Thought about the bunt. Infante also came in with the highest home batting average of anybody in the American League. It was .426. Drills this one in the air to center. Grossman on his horse. They'll run it down.
Nice play by Grossman. I've always been fond of the center fielders that take off. They take their eye off the baseball, knowing they can run faster that way. Then they're able to locate it again and make a real nice play. That's exactly what Grossman did. Eye off the ball. He knew exactly where he was, and he's able to run it down.
Apparently it's not sunny enough to wear the sunglasses. Here is Torrey Hunter. He's hit the ball in the air to right field 2 times, 0 for 2. Anything hit in the air toward left center field, if you can get it up in that jet stream that's blowing out today, it's got a chance to go a long way. Both home runs that have been hit in this game, Garcia for the Tigers, and Martinez, the ones that have gone that way, have gone way out of the ballpark. Again in the air to center. Grossman has a beat on this one, and the Tigers will go 1, 2, 3. 5 innings complete here at the ballpark as we go to the 6th. Houston by a run.
In the second inning, a 3-run home run by Garcia gave the Tigers the lead momentarily, but in the fourth inning, a base hit by Carlos Pena drove in one, and J.D. Martinez connected on a Max Scherzer breaking ball for a 3-run home run. Score now 5-4, Houston Astros.
So Max will go back to the mound here as we head to the 6th on easily the best day of the year weather-wise. 83 degrees, bright, sunshiny afternoon, and another big crowd here at the ballpark. Carlos Pena leads it off, showing bunt. Strike called. Jim Leland was addressing the shift that the Tigers put on with Pena up there, and Pena, of course, has been known to bunt the other way. But Skip said before the game today, it's up to the starting pitcher whether or not they want to use the shift. Here is Scherzer's 0-1. Big swing there by Pena, 0-2.
Interesting number here on Pena, just one of 3 players with at least 25 bunt hits and 250 career homers. That would be active players. Carlos Beltran and Derek Jeter are the other 2.
1-2. Pena today with an RBI single. He was back in the 4th. He has knocked in 10 this year. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pena's biggest year with Detroit in terms of home runs, 27 long balls back in 2004. We hope you had a chance to catch Tigers Live pregame today. Craig Monroe had a visit with Carlos Pena, talking about their days and their friendship, their days coming up in professional baseball. There's strike 3 and Pena's out of there. 6 punch outs now for Max. Back to the studio we go. Game break. Here's Justin White. All right, Justin, thanks. Here it is 5-4. The Astros on top. Tigers came into play leading Cleveland by a game and a half. We've seen the Indians now, Rod. We've seen the Royals. We've seen Minnesota. Minnesota remains a surprise.
Yes, they do.
Do you think Cleveland's going to have some staying power this year?
They're going to be as good as they're pitching. If Ubaldo Jimenez pitches the same way that he pitched against us, the majority of his starts this year, along with Justin Masterson and McAllister in that starting rotation, they're going to be pretty good. They've got a good bullpen, some nice offensive weapons.
Down goes Carter, swinging 7 strikeouts for Max.
Kansas City has gotten better pitching, very young, talented core of offensive players. Max is doing a better job this inning of staying on top of the breaking balls he's thrown, and this is the best fastball he's thrown of the day at 95. That one kind of rolled up and in on Carter.
2 outs for J.D. Martinez.
White Sox are struggling offensively. They can't score runs.
And because of that, they're 16-21 in last place in the Central. We haven't seen the White Sox yet, which is kind of odd.
And we're not going to see them for another month or so.
Here's the 0-1. So what you're saying is the back end of the Tigers' schedule is going to be loaded with Chicago.
Yes, indeed.
There are the numbers and how the teams stack up. Halfway through the month of May. Long, long way to go. Here's the 0-2. 1-2 on Martinez. Martinez missed 16 games with a knee sprain. Sends a ground ball to the shortstop. Johnny Peralta has the easy hop, and he throws him out. 1-2-3 inning for Man Max, and he's retired 7 straight now. Immediately following the Red Wings Blackhawks game, Fox Sports Detroit will bring you a special edition of Red Wings Live. We'll break down the game, have all the locker room reaction from game one. Red Wings Live post-game edition. Right after tonight's Wings game, it is brought to you by Spartan Stores. And hopefully they'll be discussing a game one win for the Red Wings. It's going to be an interesting series against the Blackhawks. Here this afternoon on a gorgeous day at the ballpark, Tigers need to come back if they want to sweep the Astros out of town. They're trailing by 1 run. They've got the big guys coming up here. Cabrera, Fielder, Martinez in the 6th. Dallas Keuchel retired the Tigers in order in the 5th inning. And Miggy takes ball 1. 5 runs, 5 hits for Houston today. The Tigers 4 runs on 5 hits. The 1-0 pitch. Miguel 1 for 2, single and a fly ball. Two and 1. Cabrera had the hitting streak snapped in game 1 in the series. It was an 11-gamer. Shoots this one in the air to center, straight at Grossman. 1 gone in the 6th. Here's Prince Fielder. Looking at some numbers today, Rod, offensively, and we've talked about how they're starting to pile up. We've had 5 Tigers this year that have had a hitting streak of 9 games in a row or better. 5 different players.
They've had a lot of really good at bats. And what I mean by that is guys that are getting 2 and 3 hits in a game, they're going for 4. And guys have not been giving away at bats this year.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball right side. Ranging to his left, Elmore. 2 gone. Keuchel has settled in nicely now. That's 6 in a row retired. Been helped out by a couple of double play balls. Here's Victor Martinez, ground out strikeout. Ground ball to short. Gonzalez boots it. Had he backhanded that ball cleanly, it's a 1-2-3 inning.
He actually had time to get in front of that ball if he chose to get in front of it with Victor running down the line. He chose to backhand it, didn't keep the glove down, and the ball hit right off the tip of the glove and then hit his shoe.
It is ruled a base hit. That'll be the 5th Tigers hit of this game. Here's Johnny Peralta. He lines one over the head of the shortstop, Gonzalez, into left.
Tigers have done some major damage with 2 outs in this series, and they're trying to do it again.
2 out singles by Martinez and Peralta. Hey, celebrate the 45th anniversary of the '68 championship team on May 25th prior to the 7-8 game against Minnesota. First 10,000 fans receive a 1968 World Series 45th anniversary commemorative coin. 866-66-Tiger for ticket info. They have not ruled a hit for Martinez. That was an error. E6. Regardless, 2 on 2 outs. Here is Tuiasa Sopo. Ball 1.
They did give him a hit originally, didn't they?
I saw a hit flash up there, so I'm assuming it did. It'll be the first error of the game for the Astros. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, the official scorekeeper probably took a peek at our replay of the play and realized that Gonzalez should have made that play.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Now, can the Tigers take advantage of the 2-out error? Tuiasosopo, a couple of singles, a run scored. Sends a ground ball left side, base hit. Here comes Martinez rounding third. He's going to try and score, and he will. Another 2-out run. Tuiasosopo, 3 for 3. Big error by Gonzalez.
And something else the Tigers are very good at. When the other team makes a mistake, the Tigers usually make them pay with a big hit or 2. A couple of steps and a dive for a real good third baseman. Dominguez, he could not knock it down. And Martinez with a throw that kind of airmails everybody, but the Tigers base runners not able to advance 90 feet.
5-5 game. 2-out error and a couple of singles, and Tuiasosopo knocks in Victor Martinez. Brian Pena, the batter. This conversation going on a little bit too long for Jeff Nelson, so the home plate umpire goes out there. They're trying to get that bullpen going. Gonzalez and Blackley are warming up. 88 pitches thrown by Keuchel. All Tigers runs today, scoring with 2 outs. In the second, it was a 2-out walk that got it going. Here, a 2-out error, and now Bull Porter calls time, and he's going to trot out to the mound. He's going to make the change. So apparently they bought just enough time, and that's going to be it for Keuchel. The 2-out error was his undoing in this inning. Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. On Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's new King's Hawaiian roast beef sandwich. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Tigers coming up with another 2-out run. They have tied this ball game up. It is 5-5 as we play here in the 6th inning. So Keuchel, who had retired 6 straight, including the first 2 in this inning, was victimized by the error by Gonzalez, and his numbers look like this. Still responsible for the 2 base runners. He has handed the baseball over to the left-hander Travis Blackley, who will take over.
Blackley comes in with no wins and no losses. The ERA is just a tad under 4. And the opponents are hitting 196 against Travis. And he does his best work against left-handed batters.
Brian Pena with a chance to give the Tigers the lead. Pena had an infield hit in the second, and that knocked in a run. Ball 1 to Pena.
Overall body of work this year. And Blackley against left-handers and right-handers.
Popped him up. Middle of the infield. It'll be Gonzalez drifting. Look out. He'll give way to Elmore, who makes the play. Hitting over. Tigers tied up, though, on the 2-out hit by HOU Sopo. Fan poll question of the game: of the 4 major sports, which team had the worst season? Was it A, the 1962 Mets, B, the 2008 Lions, C, the 72-73 76ers, or D, the 74-75 Capitals? To enter your vote, text ACE, then a space, and the letter answer to 37338. And here is some of the information on those teams that struggled. Of course, the Lions went 0-16 that year. And the Mets, a record 120 losses back in 1962. That was not a very good 76ers team. How'd you like to go 9-73?
That's tough.
Well, we go to the 7th in a 5-5 game. Tigers able to tie it up with a 2-out RBI hit by HOU Sopo. Corcoran stands in and takes ball 1 from Max. Scherzer now has retired 7 straight. He also has 7 strikeouts today. Corcoran, though, got him for a home run back in the 2nd. Solo shot. Two 2-0. Max has given up a pair of home runs in this game. 3-run shot to J.D. Martinez as well.
Xfinity is telling us that Max's best fastball today has been 97 miles an hour, 77 with a changeup, maybe even a really slow curveball. And Max starting to feel a lot more comfortable with the curveball he started throwing late last season. There it was right there.
3-1 on Carlos Corcoran. Jimmy Paredes and then Matt Dominguez here in the 7th. Fouled away. 3-2. Max now at 92 pitches. He had that long 4th inning in which he gave up 4 runs. Tigers have battled back though to tie this game at 5. Breaking ball grounded foul. In fact, Max was on the ropes in that 4th inning. He had given up the 3-run homer to Martinez. 2 batters later, a double by Paredes. Tigers had Drew Smyly warming up, but Scherzer was able to right the ship, and here he is in the 7th. Again, the 3-2. Lost him. Leadoff base on balls. Smyly is throwing again, and he's joined now by Albuquerque. It'll bring up Paredes. Double strikeout for Jimmy Paredes. Ball 1 inside. .22 in the 4th inning. The most that Max has thrown in any frame as he reaches 95 now. Now he's gone to 2-0 after walking the leadoff hitter. Dominguez would be next. Scherzer right now is facing the bottom of the Houston lineup. And Alpena out to the mound. Tigers at one point led 4-1 in this game, and then Houston put up a 4 spot on the 4th before Detroit tied it up with a run in the bottom of the 6th. All of the Tigers runs in this game scoring with 2 outs. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Infante flips to second, one, no relay. No chance at a double play ball there. 1 out with 1 on.
Nice communication here between Infante and Peralta. Peralta knows Infante can get there, and so he simply goes to the bag to make sure they get the force out. And we've seen plays where both infielders kind of verge on that play, and then no one's at the bag.
Now Dominguez. Strikeout pop-up. In the air to center field, right at Garcia. Avisail makes the catch. 2 gone. So he walked the leadoff man. Then he got 2 on the next hitter, but Scherzer has come back nicely. 2 away for Marwin Gonzalez. 98 for Scherzer now. 98 pitches. Gonzalez, couple of ground balls. 0 for 2. Astros have an off day tomorrow as they head to Pittsburgh to start a series there against the Pirates. The Tigers on their way to Texas, a 4-game series there.
That's going to be a tough series with that offense Texas has, and they also have good pitching. The Tigers have great pitching, good offense.
Well, it may not be the case tomorrow night, but there's a good chance, there usually is. There's quite a bit of offense, especially in that ballpark. And with those two teams, the pitching will be tested. Tomorrow night, of course, you got Verlander and Darvish, so you would expect the pitching to command the game.
Darvish leads the American League in strikeouts with 80.
This will be the 100th pitch for Scherzer. Instead, he goes back to first. Fielder tried to bluff the runner down there, Paredes.
It's funny how Dave Clark, the first base coach, gets all the way up there right in the right ear of the base runner Paredes to make sure that there's no signs that are missed.
Wave and a miss. 1-1 on Marwin Gonzalez. Well, the ratio has not been all that good today for Max. He fell behind quite a few batters early on in the game, and as a result, threw 100 pitches. That ratio not where he's wanted it. Runner goes. Pena's throw down to second. Tag. Got him. Oh, Brian Pena 2 for 2 today. Another strike right to the bag. And they catch Paredes. No runs, a walk. Nobody left. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T U-verse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. 5-5 game, and the first pitch on to third base, and Garcia is thrown out. One pitch, one out here in the seventh. And bring up the top of the order, Omar Infante. Did he catch it?
He tried to sell it like he caught it. Yeah, he caught it. Still better throw it until you get that call from the third base umpire. And he waited a little bit too long, and Garcia almost beat that ball out.
Actually, I think the third base umpire did signal out.
He did.
Well, another pitching change coming. Will Porter goes back to the bullpen here in a 5-5 game as we play in the 7th inning. And it's another wall side windows pitching change, and we step aside. We'll be back. Astros have gone back to the bullpen here on a glorious day. In fact, 43,315 are jammed into the ballpark this afternoon, and they're watching a good one. It's a 5-5 game. Omar Infante will be the first man to face Edgar Gonzalez.
Second stint in the organization this year for Gonzalez. He started the year in their bullpen, designated for assignment, picked up by the Toronto Blue Jays, couple different stints with the Toronto Blue Jays. Then they designated him for assignment, and the Houston Astros took him back.
And here is Infante with the bases empty. Omar looks at strike one. Infante strikeout, ground out, fly out, 0 for 3 as he hits leadoff for the first time since 2010. Omar's average at .313. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Gonzalez really throws across his body, kind of steps toward the Tigers dugout with that left foot, and then comes up with that right arm and violently jerks that arm across the body.
Drilled toward left field, and that's going to drop in. Base hit. Omar with a single.
Omar hit it just like Gonzalez threw it. 87 miles an hour right off the end of the bat.
That'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Tigers now have 8 hits today, 5 for the Astros. Torrey is hitless. Tried to drop down a bunt with Dominguez way back at third base. Had he gotten that ball down on the grass, no chance for Dominguez. Oh, 0-1 the count. Edgar Gonzalez, a native of Monterrey, Mexico. Also big league time with the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Oakland Athletics, and the Rockies.
If you're Infante and you can pick out one of these slow breaking balls, you can steal second base rather easily. Gonzalez throws a lot of them.
Tigers tied it up in the 6th on the 2-out RBI hit by Tuiasosopo. Trying to take the lead here in the 7th. Slicing that one foul the other way, 0-2. Cabrera waiting on deck. Torrey has 3 hits. Check that, 2 hits of the series. He is 2 for 11. The 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Keuchel started. Blackley came on to get a couple of outs, and now Gonzalez here in the 7th. Bo Porter likes to go to that bullpen. I don't know if he likes to go to it, but he has gone to it a lot. Would certainly prefer to see his starters go deeper into games. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, look out. Snap throw back to first. And they got him.
They sure did.
Oh. Infante
fell asleep.
Slow back to the bag, and they tag him on the foot. The heads up play by Corcoran. Never got back to the bag. 2-2 on Hunter. Slings one home high. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, this play is predetermined before the pitch is even thrown. There's some kind of a signal that is given by Corcoran, the catcher, down to Carter. And Carter knows to be on the bag after the ball is delivered. And he got him a strike thrown from the catcher.
Three and 2. Gonzalez was a non-roster invitee this spring. Appeared in 6 games with the big club last year in Houston. Most of his time with the Diamondbacks. And he walked him. So that'll keep the inning going, and it brings up your number 3 hitter, Cabrera. Miggy today is 1 for 3, a single, his middle at bat, back in the 3rd. Corcoran having a chat with his pitcher and how they want to attack Cabrera here. And wind is blowing out toward left. Miggy gets one up in the air. He can hit it out. Rolled foul, 0-1.
Nine of the Tigers' 18 runs in this series have been scored after 2 were out. All of their runs today have come after 2 were out.
Yeah, the Pena RBI single, the Garcia homer, and the Tuiasosopo RBI single. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, right off the mask of Corcoran, and he goes down to a knee. He took a pretty good shot there. Here comes the Houston trainer. Corcoran's all right. Buckled him a bit. Another snap throw to first, and he almost threw that one away. Corcoran got Infante. He was going after Hunter that time. One and two on Miguel Cabrera. Fielder on deck. 5-5 game. We're in the seventh. Checked it, but he went. He's punched out by the home plate umpire. That'll be it for the Tigers. Cabrera strikes out. Tigers leave a man aboard as we go to the eighth. Tigers baseball is presented by Bell Tire.
The game, Brian Pena's thrown out a couple of runners here today. Back in the first inning, Grossman walked, but was thrown out trying to steal second base, and Paredes, a last half inning on a fielder's choice. He was able to nab him to end the top half of the second inning. So a couple of really good throws today by Tigers backup catcher Brian Pena.
It has made a difference, and Pena has also knocked in a run with an infield hit. He's had a good day today. The Tigers go to the bullpen. Here is Drew Smiley to pitch.
He's done nice work this year. Smiley, 2 wins, no losses, sub-2 earned run average, averaging over at 1 strikeout per inning, and he's only walked 6. So Drew Smiley's done an outstanding job out of that bullpen, and Jim wondered where he would find innings and for Drew Smiley when they left spring training, but so far he's found over 23.
He's been able to do it. And now Smiley will face Marwin Gonzalez, Robbie Grossman, Jake Elmore. 9-1-2 in the lineup for the Astros, tied at 5 as we play here in the 8th. Gonzalez 0 for 2, couple of ground balls, and strike 1 from Smiley. The 23 1/3 innings for Drew is the second highest total among relievers in the American League. Little pop up, slicing down the right field line, foul ball. 0-2. Off the outside part of the plate, 1-2. Smiley kind of set the tone early this season for what kind of year it was going to be for him out of the bullpen. 4 perfect innings, recording his first save. in early April, and he has recorded a strikeout here in the 8th inning of Gonzalez.
His off-speed pitches have gotten a lot better, whether it be the changeup or whether it be that breaking ball. And he's throwing it with a lot of confidence. A real good, nice, tight breaking ball there.
Tigers pitching has 8 strikeouts today. There's Robbie Grossman. Just out of the reach of Omar Infante, and Grossman is aboard with a 1-out single. On base for the 2nd time in this game. Grossman also has a walk.
Good effort by Infante.
We'll bring up Jake Elmore. Double and a run scored for Elmore. Drops down a bunt. Looks like a good one. Smiley is going to throw it anyway, but it's going to be late. Bunt hit for Elmore.
Smiley, I don't know if he would have gotten Elmore anyway, but he probably should have picked that ball up with a bare hand and been turning his body as he was picking it up. He may have had a better opportunity of throwing him out, but once he grabs it with the glove and then turns, there's no way he's going to get him.
Two on and 1 out. Astros now have 7 hits. And now here's the number 3 hitter, Carlos Pena. Check swing, and it's ruled the ball. He held up. Ed Hickok's down at third base, said he did not go. 1-0 on Pena, singled in a run back in the 4th. Here is Smiley's 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleveland leading in Philadelphia 7-3 in their game. They're in the top of the 7th inning. The Indians coming in this afternoon a game and a half behind Detroit in 2nd place. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Pena.
He has thrown 2 fastballs right by Carlos Pena. The first one at 92. That last heater from Smiley at 93, 4-seam variety, right down the middle. If you decide to throw him a breaking ball here, don't do him any favors by throwing it over the plate. If you throw it, you got to bury it down and away.
Pena given time.
Pitch of choice, however, might just be another fastball. Just get this one a little bit higher, the same velocity.
And the 1-2. Pena has 10 RBIs. Their leading RBI man is waiting on deck. That would be the cleanup hitter, Chris Carter. Top RBI man last year for the Astros was J.D. Martinez. He had only 55 last year.
I don't know what Jim will do, but he does have Albuquerque ready in his bullpen for Carter if he wants him.
And again, the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Pena caught looking. 9 strikeouts for Detroit pitching.
Nice job there by Snyder.
2 outs, and we remind you to spend Memorial Day at Comerica Park. See the Tigers battle the Pittsburgh Pirates on May 27th at 1:08. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. And Smiley is apparently going to be lifted.
He threw some fastballs by Carlos Pena, but he finished them off with a breaking ball. Pena couldn't pull the trigger.
Smiley departs. Tigers go back to the bullpen. Here comes Albuquerque in a 5-5 game.
The second inning, it was Rafael Garcia hitting a 3-run home run, his first career home run. And J.D. Martinez, he had a big one for the Houston Astros off Max Scherzer in the fourth inning. That was a 5-4 lead at the time. But in the sixth, the Tigers able to tie the score on a base hit by Matt Tuiasosopo.
So Albuquerque comes out of the bullpen now to face the cleanup man, Chris Carter. Astros have 2 men on, 2 men out. Carter in the game is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. One ball, 1 strike. Albuquerque, and his numbers look like this. 15th appearance. He is tied for second among American League relievers with his 25 strikeouts. Ball inside, 2-1. Jose Valverde and Phil Koch loosening in the Detroit bullpen. Two and two. See if Al can finish him off here.
He can go a couple different ways. Mid-90s fastball or another one of those slide pieces.
Buried one in the dirt, and the runners will attempt to move up. They will. Wild pitch advances the runners to second and third.
Albuquerque not afraid to throw his slider in a 3-2 count. As a matter of fact, he can command the breaking ball better than he can command his fastball.
3-2. We'll see what he comes back with. Breaking ball, and he got a piece of it. Carter has 22 RBIs, leading the Astros. Man on deck, Martinez has a 3-run homer in this game. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Carter goes down swinging. 10 Tigers strikeouts for their staff today. The Astros lead the pair.
Today's whiff of the game is brought to you by Head and Shoulders. A nice work out of that Tigers bullpen. Drew Smiley gets Carlos Pena with a breaking ball. Pena couldn't pull the bat off the shoulders, and then it's Al Albuquerque who comes in. Another slider here from Albuquerque, and he is able to strike out Chris Carter for the final out of the 8th inning.
The Albuquerque strikeout was the 10th for Tigers pitching today. And it preserves the 5-5 tie. Fielder leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Fielder, then Martinez, and then Peralta. Prince looks at a ball that just missed outside from the new pitcher, lefty Wesley Wright.
And Wesley Wright was in the ball game last night, and he hit Prince Fielder. It's the second time Wright has hit Prince this year.
One ball, one strike.
Maybe that's the reason why. 357 batting average for the Prince against Wright.
One and two on Prince. For 3 in this ball game today. Fielder this year 351 versus lefty. 3 of his home runs against southpaws. 260 against righties. 2-2 is the count. Martinez and then Peralta following here in the bottom of the 8th, all tied at 5. Tried to hold up. He went around.
Didn't get a chance to finish showing you how the Tigers were able to tie the score, but in the 6th inning, a routine ground ball to the shortstop. It was booted. Peralta followed with a single, and then Tuiasa Sopo drove in the 5th run of the afternoon for the Tigers. All 5 of the Tigers' runs coming after there were 2 outs.
Prince trying to pull that bat back, but no dice.
That's a tricky call for the third base umpire, because it appeared that the bat really didn't go too far, but it's the upper body that got the call there for Wright.
Here's Martinez. It was Victor's ground ball that opened the door in the 6th. The error by the shortstop Gonzalez. He came around to score the game's tying run. 0-2 the count. Keuchel started. Blackley came on for a couple of hitters. Gonzalez pitched in the 7th. And now Wesley Wright here in the 8th. Here's the 0-2. Victor in the series 3 for 11. Hector Ambriz warming up in the bullpen for Houston. 1-2 on Victor Martinez. 2-2 on Victor. Tigers jumped out to a 4-1 lead in the 2nd. 3-run homer by Garcia. Bo Porter's team came storming back. They scored 4 in the 4th. Tigers in search of a series and season sweep of the Astros after winning 4 in Houston last week. Now the 2-2 inside, 3 balls 2 strikes on Martinez. In the air, left center field. Grossman started in, and now the wind is going to carry it. 2 gone. Well, as soon as the game ends, our coverage, it's just getting started. Tigers Live coming up here for manager Jim Leyland and the players. We'll break down the game, show you all of the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game from the Call Sam Studios here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hey, look, another pitching change for Houston. They're going back in the bullpen. Wesley Wright is done for the day. He faces 2 batters, and we'll be back in a 5-5 game. Game here in the 8th. Avisail Garcia, his first major league home run. It was a 3-run shot. JD Martinez answering with a 3-run homer of his own. And Max Scherzer, 7 innings, 5 earned runs, gave up 2 long balls in this game, 7 strikeouts. Got a new pitcher now for the Astros. That would be Hector Ambriz.
Ambriz comes in an 0-2 record, an ERA that is over 6. And the opponents are hitting over 300 against Ambriz. This bullpen this year so far for Bo Porter has been taxed. Not getting a lot of length from his starters. Therefore, the bullpen working a lot this year.
5 guys out of the pen today. Here's Peralta. Ball 1 to Johnny. Ambriz pitched in last night's ball game. He struck out Torrey Hunter, then gave up a long solo homer to Miguel Cabrera. Fouled back out of play, 1-1. Ambriz, a native of Orange, California, lives in Placentia in Southern California. Breaking ball is a good one. 1-2. Here's what you're talking about. They've pitched 159 innings, which is the most in the American League.
Batting average 283, which is the highest in the American League. They've walked the most, and they've given up the most hits.
Humphreys broke in with the Cleveland Indians a couple of years back, 2010, appeared in 34 games out of their bullpen. Elbow surgery in 2011. Into the glove for strike 3, and Humphreys strikes out the only man he faces. Tigers go 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. All right, Justin, thank you. The Tigers and the Astros all tied up. 5-5 is our score. 5-8-0 for Detroit. 5-7-1 for the Astros. Final meeting of the season between these two clubs. Albuquerque will go back to work here in the 9th. He struck out Carter with 2 men on in the 8th. And now he'll start a clean inning here in the 9th against Martinez, Corcoran, and Paredes. J.D. Martinez. Big 3-run homer back in the 4th. That was off Max Scherzer, who in this ball game went 7 innings. Struck out 7. That's in there for a strike. 0-1 on J.D. Martinez. Martinez had 2 doubles last night and a home run today. Ball high, 1-1.
He will not get a double down that third baseline. That much is for sure. Because Miguel Cabrera basically standing right on that line.
Two and 1. Always found that defense interesting because statistically you'll have more balls hit to the left of the third baseman than right down that line, but managers like to cut that option off.
Yeah, the one that goes to the left of Miguel's a single. Yeah, but if he's playing over about 3 or 4 steps and happens to go down that third baseline, those are usually doubles.
Meanwhile, it's 3-1. Way inside. Ball 4. Did not want that.
No defense against that.
Martinez on for the second time. We'll get a pinch runner down at first base. Brandon Barnes coming in. Go-ahead run at first base. Brandon Barnes.
Barnes has 4 steals. He's been caught once.
And Jim Leland coming out as well. And he's going to go right back to his bullpen. Albuquerque struck out Carter in the 8th, but he has walked J.D. Martinez here in the 9th. Phil Coke will come in as Albuquerque gets up the baseball. Pitching change here at Comerica Park in the 9th inning. And we will step aside. 5-5 game. We'll be back. Over out of the Detroit bullpen.
Phil Coke spent a couple of weeks on the disabled list. He's only been back for a handful of days. 745 earned run average in 10 prior games for Phil Coke. Left-handers hitting 133 against him. Righties 333.
Carlos Corcoran had a home run back in the 2nd off Max Scherzer. He hit that left-handed. He'll turn around bat righty here against lefty Coke.
He is actually a better hitter batting right-handed than he is left-handed.
And he drives one to the gap in left center field. That's going to get down. It's going to go all the way to the warning track and score a run. Barnes will come in to score. Corcoran is on his way to second. And on the first pitch he sees from Phil Coke, it is 6-5 Houston.
Some of you may be wondering if he's a better hitter right-handed, why would Jim bring in Phil Coke? And the answer to that is, with Barnes on first base, Phil being left-handed, Barnes wasn't going to steal second base, but Phil didn't make a good pitch to Corcoran, and he jumped all over it.
That is a huge hit for the Astros. And Trevor Crowe now will come on a pinch run for Corcoran, who has done his job today. Homer double, 2 RBIs. 6-5 Houston in the lead, and Jimmy Paredes will step in.
Leadoff walks late in games. Not good.
This one scored here in the 9th. The Martinez walk. Showing bunt. He'll lay one down. He'll get the runner to third base. Cabrera will get Paredes, who sacrifices.
And Tigers going to be forced here to play their infield in. Already trailing by a run here in the 9th inning. They can't give him any more.
Bring up Matt Dominguez. Infield in for the Tigers. Dominguez 0 for 3. Ball 1. Each team now with 8 hits on the board, but the Astros score the go-ahead run here in the top of the 9th. And that run will be charged to Albuquerque. The 1-0. Foul back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Dominguez. Colt facing the number 8 hitter. Marwin Gonzalez on deck.
Even though the Tigers are playing the infield in, it looks like Trevor Crowe, the runner at third, is still coming on contact.
Fly ball right field, hit well. Hunter going back, still going back to the warning track. That'll get the run in with ease. Sacrifice fly for Matt Dominguez. 2 runs in for Houston, and they lead 7-5. Base is empty now with 2 outs. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Oh for 3 today. Tigers in the bottom of the 9th will have their bottom 3 hitters due up. Tuiasa, Sopo, Pena, and Garcia.
Yeah, Jim's got quite a few left-handers on that bench as well.
Here's the 0-1. Among them, Avila, Dirks,
Kelly,
DK,
and Santiago.
Jose Veras, their closer, tuning up.
No doubt we'll see 1 or 2 of those guys in the 9th.
Chopper right back to the mound. Cope will throw him out to end the inning. However, Houston breaks the tie, a 2 spot in the 9th, and Veras will be coming in.
Take a peek at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Max Scherzer started the game and pitched 7 innings. He gave up a couple of home runs, 1 solo shot to Corcoran. Then he also gave up a 3-run homer to J.D. Martinez. Then he got to that real nice arm slot. The breaking ball had some downward action to it. The changeup was fading down and away from the left-handers. And Max Scherzer pitched a pretty good game. He did walk 3, which tied a season high this year for Max.
So the Tigers now will need a couple of runs here to keep this thing going. And they will have to do it against the closer of the Astros. Jose Veras is on to try and get the final 3 outs.
He has 4 saves this year. He's blown a couple. 420 earned run average, 16 strikeouts in 15 innings. And against just 5 walks, he's only given up 1 homer.
Got some changes now for the Astros, and here they are. Grossman will move to left from his center field position. Barnes will stay in the game to play center. And Crow remains in the game to play right field. Jason Castro now is catching. And here's the first lefty to come off the bench. Don Kelly will pinch hit for Tuiasa Sopo. Now the Tigers have gotten to Veras already this year. It was Veras that gave up the 2-run homer to Alex Avila. That dramatic home run that Avila hit in Houston for a 4-3 win. See if they can get to him again here today. 0-1 on Don Kelly. Make it 0-2 on Don. Tuiasa Sopo had a big day before departing, had 3 hits and an RBI. Kelly hits a slow ground ball to first base. Carter gobbles it up, and he'll win the race to the bag. 1 gone. Brian Pena will step to the plate. Pena had an RBI single back in the second. Jose Veras is 32 years old, born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, still lives there. Ball 1 to Pena. Andy Dirks has moved to the on deck circle with Garcia due next. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 the count. Veras pitched out of the bullpen in Milwaukee last year, made 72 appearances. And he missed again. 3-0. Tigers need 1 base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. There's a strike 3-1 on Pena. Each team 8 hits in this game today. The difference, a 2-run ninth for the Astros. Tigers led early in this game 4-1. Ground ball, foul. Outside of the bag at first. Full count, 3-2 on Brian Pena. Cleveland leading 10-3 in Philly, so it looks like they're on their way to a win. Tigers came in a game and a half up. Popped up foul, back out of play. 3-2 the count stays. Jim Leyland talking earlier today about how he likes to run a game. He said that, like most managers, I like to think a little bit ahead, as in 3 innings ahead. And so I'm sure he was already formulating what he wanted to do late in this game, although the Astros scored 2 in the 9th. He was already considering his pinch hitters, his options, where he was in the lineup. Here's another foul. And the speed of the game at this level, Rod, I guess dictates that managers try and stay on top of it.
It's also why you have that bench coach. And Gene Lamont standing right behind Jim. Sometimes as a manager you don't see everything because you're preoccupied. But that's why you have a good coaching staff down there. Some guys that can alert you to certain situations that you may not be thinking about.
And again the 3-2. Popped up foul again.
He's got 3 former managers down there. And Gene Lamont, Lloyd McClendon.
A ton of experience on that Tigers bench. Right now trying to figure out what to do about this 2-run deficit. Trying to get Pena aboard. Castro runs out to the mound now.
They've thrown Pena fastball after fastball. He continues to foul him off. And Castro simply walked out to see if Veras has enough confidence in his off-speed pitch to throw it right here. Pena pretty much got that fastball timed.
And he walked him. Pena sprints down to first base. Well, it's an original 6 showdown as the Red Wings take on the Blackhawks in round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tickets and individual suites are on sale now. Call 313-471-7575 or go to DetroitRedWings.com. Well, it's a start. The Tigers will now bring the tying run to the plate. They got their base runner. Here's Andy Dirks. Breaking ball, strike 1 on Dirks.
Andy Dirks has had a nice series. 4 hits in the series against the Houston Astros pitching. 3 of those 4 hits extra bases. A homer, a triple, a double.
Grand slam home run off Bud Norris on Monday. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Of course, Dirks had the career high 4 hits at Houston on May the 5th. Last 8 games, a solid .387. Pena, the runner at first. They'll play behind him. And the 1-1. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. That's Gonzalez, the shortstop. 2 gone. So it'll be up to Omar Infante. Omar today 1 for 4. He singled in the 7th, but that was picked off by the catcher. Ball 1 on Omar. Tigers got the 1-out walk from Pena. He's still standing there with 2 outs. And the Astros 1 out away from avoiding the sweep and winning their 11th game of the year. That breaking ball drops in. He had Omar backing out of the batter's box. 1-1. 3 straight breaking balls now to Infante, and he's gotten ahead of the count 1-2. That Comerica Park batting average awfully lofty, 415. 11 RBIs here. In fact, 11 of his 14 have come here at home. 1-2. Another breaking ball. This one spins inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He doesn't appear to be interested in throwing Omar a fastball.
No, they know that Omar is an outstanding fastball hitter. And we've watched the last couple of weeks several teams give Omar a steady diet of breaking balls.
2-2. Torrey Hunter would be next. Runner going. Ball inside. Another breaking ball. Now 3-2 with Pena at second. No stolen base for Pena. Defensive indifference. And the 3-2. Walked him, and now the tying runs are on. And it's going to bring up Torrey Hunter. Pena at second, Infante at first, and Hunter, with a walk in his last at bat, will step in against Veras. Fastball down the middle at 95 miles an hour, 0-1.
Best fastball of the afternoon by Mr. Veras.
.342 this year for Torrey with men in scoring position. Need a key knock here with 2 outs. Breaking ball fouled back out of play. Now it's 0-2.
Torrey got that hanging breaking ball that he was sitting on, and he missed it.
Now Castro walks out to the mound.
He's going to tell him, you can't throw that pitch again.
Is that old story we told a couple of weeks ago about Kirby Puckett telling Torrey when he was a youngster with Minnesota? Breaking balls are a gift from God. Don't miss your blessing. He just missed that one.
Especially when they're hanging.
MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. It delivers Detroit Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, and a whole lot more. Text at bat to 31826. 0-2 on Torrey Hunter, with 2 outs in a 2-run game here in the 9th. And he hit him to load the bases. Oh, that sounded bad from up here. Ouch. Hunter is drilled on the left wrist. Absolutely no padding down there, and Hunter immediately drops the bat. Boy, you worry about those. He had him 0-2, and now he's going to have to deal with Cabrera. That sounded like it hit the bat. It sounded so bad. Torrey stays in the game. They are loaded up. Tying run now in scoring position for Cabrera. Oh, and Miggy just absolutely lives for these opportunities. You cannot draw it up better if you're Jim Leyland here. You've got the bases full, and you've got your big gun in the batter's box.
Best hitter in baseball.
Fouled back out of play, 0-1. Veras walking a tightrope here in the 9th inning. Here's the 0-1. High fly ball, right center field. Backing up deep is Barnes to the wall to make the catch. Oh, Cabrera gave the crowd a thrill, but it fell just a little bit short. He absolutely killed that ball to the wrong part of the ballpark. What a way to end this ball game. To the wall in right center field.
Barnes just put in as a pinch runner last half inning, has tremendous speed out there and ran this ball down at the out-of-town scoreboard.
And Veras,
thank you.
Yes, that's about the best way you could put it. Well, he got away with one there. He walked a couple of batters, he hit a batter, and he got Cabrera to hit one to the wall. And the Astros avoid the sweep. There's your final, 7-5.